Okay, good. Okay, welcome to the Historic District Commission. After presentation by the applicant, members of the public will be allowed 2 opportunities to speak on agenda items. The chair will ask if anyone from the public has questions of the applicant to understand the project. After questions are closed, the chair will ask if anyone from the public has comments. Members of the public will have up to 3 minutes to comment. Comments should be limited to the exterior design of the building and site. Comments will not be allowed as to the interior design or use of the project. Thank you. And now, our first 3 agenda items have been postponed because the owner could not get here because of weather. So we're going to move to agenda item number 4, which is Shirlene Gobern, Plot 6, Lot 130-1, fire number 443 Dodge Street, for construction of a deck and stairs. It's not that.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, we should introduce ourselves, and that is that
Bill Cook.
Mark Ball.
Arlene Chunny,
Mark Bailey.
Elizabeth Moss. Shirlene Goburn, applicant. Good afternoon.
is your light on?
Yes, sorry. So I provided photos of my property as it looked in late 1960s and the early 70s. There was a deck leading up to the second floor on the, Martha helped me with, south back, facing the gable. And over years, it deteriorated and it was just shingled over. And I want to replace the stairs and deck as shown on the drawing from Maple Grove, I think.
What materials are you using?
I think it's on the invitation, which I don't.
It's a standard decking, AZAC.
It's on the application page. I wrote it in.
Pressure treated.
Okay, thank you.
So, Shirley, this is exactly looks like how it was. Right? Staircase.
No, the staircase was steep coming down. Yes, by code, you have to have a landing so you don't accidentally tumble down all the stairs, but there's a.
Stairs didn't previously turn, right? And now now they turn, they used to be straight down.
Yes.
That's because of code.
And it looks like a modification to the entry on top. You're expanding the door opening at the top.
It maybe,
Oh, there's a window
but
in
yes,
there.
to code, the 2 windows will still be there, but in the door,
I was looking at some photos.
Yeah,
the door will be to code.
so the door is new.
Yes.
And the window too.
The windows, yes, and the windows were lower before, but they had to be raised to code. And they're being the same size all around the top of the house as well as,
Are they the same pillar windows?
yes.
Is there any more discussion? Questions?
Make a motion,
Okay, Artwork.
make a motion to, build a deck and staircase with a return, seventies and eighties, there was a deck there, gonna add, two windows are gonna be a little bigger, get a fire egress, and also add a door. For, safety and the reason why, the staircase changed from the early days of the '70s, because it was not code, because it went too long, now they have to have a landing. And, good job, Shirley, everything's perfect.
Thank you. I just want to be a good steward.
All in favor? Oh, no,
Is
go ahead.
anybody second?
I did.
Okay. Just, we should add that it's a building in the historic district.
Oh, yeah, findings of fact. It's a building in the, an important building in the historic district. And it's in keeping with materials and design, of the historic district.
Thank you.
All in favor? Opposed?
And I think we should
Thank
have on record that, Shirley is one of the homeowners down there that has been consistently working on keeping that extraordinarily visible house looking really, really good.
Yeah,
Here, here.
Thank
you.
you.
amen.
Thank you
We
very
are
much.
so, we spend so much time complaining about who has a signs, we don't talk about the Scott Farm, which is again doing, again done work. Our people at Shirley just keep plugging along. And she's got one of the prettiest houses in town.
Thank
Well,
you.
one thing, it's visible, I did the roof, yeah, that's right.
Yes, thanks to Mark and Wayne, they saved my house in many, many years.
Hey, Shirley.
Thank you.
You're good to go.
For the minutes, I'd like to say that we've made a decision, that because the first, three, items were not heard because, Mr. Martucci couldn't come here, we've scheduled a special meeting for April 7th at 5 o'clock, Monday, April 7th. Okay, then we have, the plan, we went before the planning board and they really liked the, additions to the historic district. But they'd like to add one more property, and that's the property as you're facing the Barrington Inn, to the left of it is Frank DiBiase's new building. And then there's a building to the left of that.
Yeah.
And the planning board would like a recommendation from us as to whether or not they should add that to the historic district.
So moved.
Sure, if we wanna pick a fight, let's go for it. But Frank only bought that property because it wasn't in the historic district.
But he's done. Yeah.
Frank loves
I
a fight.
talked-
Well,
I talked to him, yeah.
it's not official yet. It's going to planning. And then it's gonna go to the council. There's gonna be public meetings.
We're
None
not
of this is set in stone.
We're not adding his specifically tonight. It's the building to the left of his.
It's a residence to the left.
Oh, all right.
Mitchell's house.
No,
No, rather new house.
Just so we know, it's not gonna be taken, that one's.
We added his property last time or
Oh.
2 times ago, whenever it is that we sent the recommendations.
Wonderful.
Right, but it's only a recommendation.
Right.
Nothing is set in stone.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
So the planning board is asking if we're recommending this one to be included.
Why not?
Yeah, the
Go for it.
council,
one
council has to vote.
Yeah.
71.
It's the one next to the.
It's that's
new
in
place.
mixed commercial as
To
well
the
as
west.
that would, when I I
You
haven't
turn on
seen
the
it,
beach
but
app
I've been
and
able to make this
Right.
one to anybody,
It's on
because
the
I
right.
think nobody in
Next
this
one
town
past
seems
Frank's
to know what
place.
The
zoning
one
laws
with
are.
There's a
the,
residence in there.
One of the things that I really wanted was to have
fake stone.
the
here.
zoning lines and not, the zoning lines and the HDC lines correspond the way they used to. This makes life easier for everybody. And that's how it was originally set up and why it never got picked up again after zoning was changed in 1989. I have no idea, it was probably intended, and then some other non-crisis came up. It took up 6 months, followed by another non-crisis. It took up 12 months, none of which we can remember because they weren't really crises.
So did we vote on this? No.
Everybody was up for it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Mike made the motion.
I made a
Yeah.
motion.
He made a motion to add that to the historic, just the
And I just-
recommendation.
it's Wanna, I'm unclear in my brain which one it is. There's
I'm-
two new houses.
There's two houses, the two new ones.
Here's the
And
Barrington.
then to the left,
Right,
Here's Frank's new place.
right.
It's this one here.
This is Frank's place.
Okay, so this is the one with the veneer stone.
no, that's
that's
his.
Frank.
Okay. Oh, there's one even next door to that.
Yeah.
Wow. But these are not part of the.
No, that was. but
These
part
were
of-
nominated earlier.
Right,
Okay. Okay, so these are already been nominated.
Right.
Right.
And the slighted.
right.
This,
Okay. Got it. All is clear. Thank you.
It's plat 5, lot 90. So Mike made a motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
One.
Okay. Mark,
That is still.
you're going to give us a report on administrative application approvals? Okay.
Okay. A couple meetings ago, I was asked to give you a report or let you know when we administratively approved anything. You do have to put the plat and lots on there per agenda rules, but this was the reshingling of Eli's.
this one.
The reshingling of the building where Eli's is.
Oh, okay.
Everything's the
So-
same.
It is,
Yeah.
it is. I just, you asked me to let you know if
No,
something
she's-
came
yeah,
through.
she's giving us an
This
update
came
now,
through.
something that was Done administratively.
Eli.
It's Eli's.
See you, Les.
Yeah. Yeah, she had called me and I drove over and I saw what they were doing. Election of officers. Do we have any changes or?
I'd like to make a proposal. If I may. I'd like to, I think, that, the head of the, or the chair of this particular board has a unique, responsibility, and I think, it's important that whoever is in that position either has, is an architect or has some architectural experience or preservation experience. And I therefore would like to nominate Arlene as chair and Bill as second chair, social chair, whatever the right term is.
Can I make, just like the fire department, every year there's a different fire chief, I believe this board would be, somebody new for, again, and I would recommend Bill for first chair and Martha for second.
So how does this work? Do we have to, we'll take a vote?
Discussion.
I don't know, I haven't done this yet, guys.
I haven't either.
Okay, well, we've done it in different ways.
You said something about paper ballot.
The paper ballot's probably the best way to go. I would like to say though, I don't want to be, I don't want to be the chair, and I don't want to be the, vice chair. I have spent, I don't know how many meetings I have chaired with either virtually no notice, with, no acknowledgement, with, and it's really, really, really beginning to grind on me.
I
And I
understand.
don't think anybody, I don't think people should be treated like that. I think it is, appalling that it goes on in this town. And, I'm also tired of it. I'm still, I want to stay on the board and I
Thank
want
you.
to, continue to tell you what happened in 1880. But I do not want to be in. But thank you.
Then I would say Eileen, second chair. That's my vote.
I put
Yeah.
brush up on my Roberts.
I think overall,
Deep into Roberts.
I mean, I do think Mike makes a really good point for, the historic district commission. And I think Arlene's been an asset with her architectural background, her attention to the details. I think there have been times where we can all be maybe better at this, maybe overreaching outside of our purview. I think whoever is the chair, we need someone who doesn't overreach and really kind of sticks to the direction and the oversight of what we are here tasked to do. I hadn't considered it, but I think the combination of Arlene and Bill is actually a good one. I think in whatever format, I mean, I think you've got your contractor direction and your materials. I think you come to it from different backgrounds, but with a shared goal of protecting the island, hopefully. And I think with very different strengths. And I would support that. I mean, I don't know how the two of you would feel about it, but I think.
The only thing I would add is that I'm basically retired. I do very few projects these days, where you do a lot. So I think you would end up having to recuse yourself a lot.
That also is a possibility. I will say this, I have served on this committee as well as the Harbor Committee. A couple terms on each now. I serve at the pleasure of the people. I come here every day and I try to do good work. It's really, I feel like we have always done good work here, and I think we will continue to do work no matter who is running the meeting or not. Yeah, that's all I have to say.
I hear what you said about accusing himself, but the job that I've known him having for the last 6 years is he hasn't done one house in the historic district. Right?
No.
So I don't see him accusing himself at all.
Well, I mean,
That's not true. I just do a lot of new construction.
So whether you're a chair or you're a member, if there's a conflict, there's a conflict that has no bearing whatsoever on the office or non-office person.
And I do.
That would be the case, same case as he does today.
So what do we do, a paper ballot?
Okay, so I Googled Robert's Rules of Order.
We have a motion on the floor.
Yeah.
We technically have two.
No.
No?
you can't have two.
Oh, well, Mark said something too. So we have a motion. If you guys decide you want general consensus, if you agree with that, we can do with that, or we can do paper ballots if you would prefer.
Mark's motion included Martha.
Oh, she said no, and I said, Eileen would be perfect.
Oh, but my name's Elizabeth.
Gangster stuff, right?
You said what? Mark?
Yeah, right?
I like that.
Well played.
What did Mark say?
They're new.
He said,
Hmm?
since Martha didn't want to do it, I could be the co-chair or the second chair.
Oh,
This would be a terrible year for me, unfortunately. I may have to skip some meetings moving forward.
well, when you say there's a motion. is
You,
that-
you
I-
said yours as a motion.
Okay,
So if the consensus wants that, and we're only nominating that, and everyone agrees to it, okay. You decide you want to do something different,
then we go to the next one.
we go to a ballot. No, I would write a ballot and we would do votes. If I'm reading this right.
Okay.
But has your motion been seconded?
No one seconded it?
I would second it. I do second it.
There you go.
Not that I would-
vice chair.
There's one
I
right
have
now,
two
but
motions
on-
on the floor.
Well,
They
that's
have
one.
two motions on the
That's
floor.
one motion.
Mark wants to make a motion.
Yeah, but, so.
I thought I did.
There's already a motion on the floor.
He said his as a motion before you spoke.
Okay, so what happens now?
Elizabeth seconded it, so it either.
So now-
Vote, and
Either you vote it down,
you vote it
It
down,
gets with-
it gets
withdrawn.
withdrawn, or.
either re-vote or have a paper ballot.
Yeah.
And then decide how to do it, which is always the thing that should be decided first and never is on any board I've ever been on.
The motion now is for Eileen.
To be chair and the bill to
Bill.
be vice chair.
Do you want a paper ballot?
Wait, we're gonna vote on this
Yeah.
motion.
Yeah, okay. All in favor?
Right?
Aye.
Okay.
So how are you voting, Kay? How are you voting? Are you aye or no? Are you yes or no? On the motion? Mike made
Okay,
a
the motion is for Arlene for chair and Bill for vice chair.
Yes,
All right, so then it passes.
that's four.
Yeah, that's four. That's all you need.
Cool. I don't have a gavel, so I can't say.
All right, so there we go.
I need a gavel. Put that on my bucket list.
I have a,
The next item is the revision of the historic district application and preliminary final process. What, do we have that application?
I thought I stuck one in there, but I might not have.
No.
But I have some suggestions and questions and wanted to discuss it with you. And it doesn't have to be all dealt with today, but I feel like it's a conversation we need to have. The preliminary and final process,
Well, this is a typical application.
I understand that.
Okay.
It's more of how I'm presenting things to you, and there are things that you're requiring in the copies. It was, I know it's in almost all of the applications. I can get fresh copies for the next meeting, but it's more of the process and what we're requiring of people. I mean, we had talked about asking people to give history of their properties in a previous meeting, and do I just want to keep everyone at the same step? And if they have to come back, they have to come back and not deal with labeling things as preliminary and final. It's more of trying to streamline the process to make things easier. Do you really need 50 copies of everything? I'm killing a lot of trees. And what works best for you guys? Like meeting minutes. I know you like your meeting minutes on paper, but if I can, you prefer, you want them electronically, whatever. I'm just trying to streamline things a little bit. And I know that the application process was brought up about being able to get histories of properties as part of the application process, so we can see where things are at.
I think, Elizabeth, I think you brought it up, when we were talking about histories of properties, it was not so much as an application, at this point, but
As part of the process, I couldn't remember, which is why it's a conversation.
just bags. That there doesn't seem to be a very good place, or consolidated place for people to get information.
Okay,
It's difficult for applicants.
Yeah,
okay. So,
like just pulling the green book out and pulling the old survey out. And have that information available in town hall. I mean, I think Shirley did a great job with the pictures. They don't go, we could go back a lot farther if we wanted to, but, I think for today's purposes, that was fine. Because, you know, there's an awful lot of, I think one of the things that concerns me so much, and I've mentioned this before, but there are so many things that get lost and that, people don't know by no fault of theirs. And, you know, they get erased, and I make references sometimes, and maybe Mike knows what I'm talking about. He's older than I am, I think.
Yeah, I think so, Martha.
But that's about it.
I was saying to somebody today, I probably have more use on Block Island than you do.
And, it's, and that's just, that, it's just a shame that, you know, I feel like we get sidetracked on signs and, what's current and I don't know, we should be doing a better service to people. We've got some really fantastic buildings with some wild history of how they were built downtown that just, yeah,
And how can we help that process along?
yeah, that's it.
Those are the things that might be helpful is some sort of, as you suggest, photography that exists.
There-
And particularly, you know, like when we were doing the hotel, there's some wonderful photographs of the old hotel
Mhm.
long before our memory.
Yeah.
That
For
would
all
be
times.
useful historically for all purposes.
Well, we have a meeting on the 7th of April, so why don't we receive the applications then? And then for our next regular meeting, we can put it on the agenda to see what we want to change. That gives us some time to review it.
I can do that. And then in regards to the preliminary and final steps, do you want to review that then too? Because the way the application is with the list of information, it's split into two separate sections. And that's more of my question. I inherited it when I came in and I want to understand it better so I can make it easier when I give you guys packets.
I like primary, and I personally like primary and final approval. I think it's a very good tool that we can use
Yeah.
to empower the applicants to keep going in the process. I think if we took away and made it just finals, we're really gonna slow down a lot of people. And our job is to serve here, not, you know, not to be a hindrance to building, but to guide building.
Well,
I think to add to what you're saying is, I think what you're saying, the preliminary is principally for siting and massing.
Yeah,
And so they don't get into a lot of detail. If you just had final, then they'd have to bring all the details. And then we might say, well, we don't like the building.
right, yeah, I 100%, I
Yeah.
really,
Yeah.
I don't know if anybody disagrees with.
No,
that.
I
We
think
need
you're
to
right.
keep that.
That's okay. I'm just
Yeah.
asking.
Yeah, no, but-
And on
Just give it an
larger
answer.
projects, it might even be an interim.
right, yeah.
Okay. So I will plan on bringing copies of applications to the 7th. And then I'll put it on the agenda for the April 28th meeting
Mhm.
for discussion.
Okay.
Okay.
And then the last item on our agenda is that the HM and FMP, what is it?
No, you forgot minutes. You gotta do the minutes first.
Item 5. Oh, minutes, sorry. Can I have a motion to approve the minutes from,
I'd make a
February.
motion to approve the minutes from February.
have a second? Second. All in favor? And I have to abstain because I wasn't here.
I
Okay.
did too.
Oh.
I wasn't present.
Okay. So
Second.
1, 2, 3, 4 ayes and 3 abstain. Okay,
Okay, now we'll go to the HM and FM. What is H, the?
hazard mitigation and flood management plan.
Okay, that from March 17th to April 7th, there's a draft of the hazard mitigation and flood management plan available at the town's website.
To review
So-
and comment on.
So if you want to comment on it, please do. Or if you want us to talk about it as a committee.
No, it was just to let you know that it's there, to let everybody know to look at it, and that it will be on the council's agenda on April 7th.
Is this, any connection between this and what's been referred to on the bulletin board as the Corn Neck
No,
plan? or
two
project?
separate projects,
I don't know what that.
two different groups.
I thought it was Judy's group. It's not. No, okay.
No, this is the hazard mitigation committee, advisory board. Thank you. I knew they would know.
She's gotta type it.
Do we have a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Opposed?
It was too much fun.
See you in